World Opportunity webinar offered by Next Level Africa. We have quite a bit of information to bring to you today regarding the exchanges and the C-Wallet. And we'll also be including a general overview of where we are at with NLA and the lines and the upgrading, etc. And as usual, we will be having the Q&A at the end where you're welcome to ask questions covering all things that we've discussed. Please also remember to hold all of your questions and comments though until that time, and when it comes time for you to include your comments and questions, please try to be as clear in your question as possible so that we're not sort of wondering or having to go back to you for clarity. That would be very helpful. Now I'd like to say again, because it's been a couple of weeks, thank you, because we're time zone different in many areas, and we are grateful that you're here with us. So now with that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you today our presenter, Mr. Noel Adams, the founder of Next Level Africa and our CEO and leader of the Smada team. Welcome, Noel.
Thanks, Angelina. Okay, just getting it sorted out here. I think everyone can hear me all right. Look, we've got a few updates going on here. Even as I speak now, it gets into a situation where I'm just noticing we've got cats and things heading up there. So, all right. All right. So I'm being distracted with on what's going on here as well. So. Right. First of all, look, welcome everybody here. We've had some fairly bad thunderstorms over in South Africa. So our link between the UK and the States and Japan has been a little bit disrupted out there. So I was hoping to get final updates, but I've got a bit there. So we're just out there trying to get it all in place. First of all, look, I'll cover BCN just to let you know. If people want to have a look, we've had a few people coming back to us questioning things on BCN, but there's a lot going on with BCN, and so if you need to read up what they've posted. They've just got a recent post, and I think they're closing up for a while because it sounds like the Bitcoin is going to fork again, so there'll be another coin coming out. And so once you read that, because we've had to make calls each week, each month as things are going, and so when we first started with Bit Club Network, Bitcoin was $20,000 a coin back in December. I don't know if anyone noticed, it took another dive of $1,000 in the last 24 to 48 hours as well. And the mining out there is becoming extremely difficult, and the cost of mining is astronomical. So there's just things going on with it. Whilst I don't feel that there's an issue with it, it's just that we're just on hold at the moment promoting it, but we'll come back into it out there because there's a lot going on that we are going to be talking to them about as well. But make sure that you read what they've said, and then you can question what we've done, because we just made a call as we were moving along with it. But it's running okay. They've paid out some quite nice dividends, I believe, in the last couple of days as well. So anyway, that's BCN. So we're just keeping a watch on that as well. I did speak with the owner of UPB, David Emby, and I'm wanting them to put some updates in their room. They're a little bit slow on doing that, but they're in talks with their programmer, and look, it was something to do with how they how people re-entered the system, and how it was done was going to mean that they would have needed to put another matrix in there to balance that. So the program has been trying to work out how people re-enter the system, because once you cycle out, you've got to re-enter the system without having two matrices going. So that's something that they're just trying to finalise on that. So they're within, look, the last I heard, which was about 2 days ago, they're within a couple of days, so we might hear something off them either later this week or early next week. But that's all they're trying to work on, to get that component, the re-entry, listed back in there, because as I mentioned before, that we are talking about using the NLA coins, so we want to be there with them and helping where we can with using that. The other one is Web Talk, that a lot of members have signed up for. So I'm look, with Web Talk out there, I think that their CEO RJ, I'm not sure what RJ even stands for, but RJ put a post out there that they're understaffed and they wouldn't mind raising some additional funds in order to get things going. So there's just a couple of things going on there, and I think what we have noticed with it is, because there's no KYC within the system, there's a lot of people that are doing spamming and stuff. So just be very careful in there on who you accept, and certainly don't respond to any outside contacts that you don't know with email and things like that. But look, as far as the area goes, it's quite safe. I'm not suggesting you've got to, not log in and have a look at it, but that's what can happen in an environment that's understaffed, and of course it's not KYC'd. So we are monitoring that, and we will be in talks with them about some further things. One of the reasons in there, a main reason in there, is that they're boasting of 1.5 million members at the moment. Well, it's that group we want to get amongst. So this is what this is all about as well. It's not just us using it as a social media platform, but it's getting in there because a lot of business people in there as well. I've made some very nice contacts in there, so we are talking to a lot of people with what's going on there. So just keep an eye on it out there, and I think it'll deliver what we need it to deliver. The other thing you may have noticed, GEX, I'll just cover GEX. It was down for a couple of days. The programmers in the States, the security people in the States, they were getting themselves organized with, as far as the getting the security into GX and organizing the wallet. So the wallet's organized from Japan, and because of the security and what we do with the exchanges, there's a number of security levels, and when a particular portion of it is completed, it then gets passed on to the next security people, and if there's anything wrong with the coding, it's got to go right back through the system. Security is the most important thing that they'll do with this, because it's a lot of times inside hacks at a site where people have internal knowledge, so nobody is privy to the entire security system. It's all in stages, and the people in Los Angeles, they're doing their portion of it, and it comes back to Japan, and then from Japan it goes to the UK, where they have the final touches to it. So it really goes around the moulding bush a bit. So we're hoping that they've got their, I'll find out more about it. I was actually told 2 days ago that the site wouldn't open until next week, so it's a good thing it's open, and they'll be adding the wallet to it. So we'll be seeing that happening out there. So so I'm rather pleased that that's going to be taking shape. All right, next one we'll cover will be NLA. Look, because we've been all over the place, our development program team, they've been drained with what they're doing, getting a lot of these things sorted out, which I'll explain some of the things they're doing in a moment. So we're refining that so that I've almost completed and signed off on line 6. So line 7 is getting very close to be able to bring that in. And I do apologise that there's just so many components to this. It's not an easy one, but not to do with Next Level Africa, but we've got people off doing other things. And as you know there, that the reason that the NLA coin exchange CEX was completed, that was given priority to have that completed before GEX. So because of the investor group, so that's been completed, and so there are things happening along with that. What they were hoping to do, and they did say it'll be this week, so I'll find out. Once again, I'm just having a bit of trouble getting the final information about it, but the NLA coin will go onto the blockchain. As I mentioned before, we have paid for that, so it's just a simple matter of them completing what they're doing. They had to wait to get enough of the wallets out there to make sure the bugs are sorted out with the wallets. The original wallet we had there has been turned off, so it doesn't interfere with when we enter it in the blockchain. It doesn't fork. That would have created a major problem if that happened. So we now have sufficient wallets downloaded, and we've turned that one off. You can still do backup if someone hasn't a backup on it, but just so it won't talk to the system out there. So we've got that happening out there. I'll cover now the investors. Last night, the right-hand man of the head of the project department in the UK, his name is Timothy, he left last night for the United States. He's over there to work directly with the investor group and their legal teams and getting things sorted out, because they're now ready to go. So he's over there to have street feet over there so that he can just attend to anything that they need to do. So they're hoping to have that completed early next week, and then from that point then the exchange will start to function as we want it to, as far as the investors purchasing. So there's $3.27 billion worth of coins that will be purchased next week, and then from that it should be a roll-on of other things happening. So that's what's happening at the moment with the investors. They're certainly still there. Because the bank have been holding them at bay because of all this delay with getting wallets and getting the exchange all linked in and tidied out there, because it all had to be linked in together through Next Level Africa, through the exchange, the wallets, everything had to be synchronized together out there, which is now being completed. So we are getting things sorted out. Also, too, we're just getting it in place now for the withdrawals from Next Level Africa. So that was something that had to be sorted out. So I've got that happening. I've got people working on that, so we'll be able to let you know when that's about to happen. When we're working with such a large operation out there, it can be a little bit slow, if you like, on doing things. So we're trying now to get things to happen out there. Okay, well, that's the investors. I'm just really covering what I know more so. I'm trying not to make this sound like a hype call, and I'm just telling you what I've been told and what we do know that's coming, because we all know we've been working on this for some time. As you get talking to a lot of people that are involved with other programs, and one of them is, in particular, one of the programs we've just recently had a look at is Frega. Frega is a shopping loyalty program. It's a banking system. We've got lots and lots of things rolled into it. And I've had talks with the CEO of Frega over the last couple of weeks, and we are looking at the possibility of a joint venture, so that members from both parties will benefit from anything that we do. So we really just have it under the microscope at the moment to see where we're at, but both of us, themselves and myself, we're open to for discussions on where we need to be with it. So these are some of the things that are coming out there. We have some large players that we're in talks with, and I don't want to go over them now. I don't want to talk about them because I don't want to overwhelm people, because there's a lot going on and we have something else that we're working on as well. And if I start talking too much about it, there'll be a lot of questions on it. Some of them I can't answer just yet, so I'm restricting myself on it. And look, lastly, I'm going to just give you a bit of a snippet on what we're doing there at the moment. And what we're doing there at the moment is that we are in the process of bringing a few things together, and one of them is the fact that we've got a fairly decent commitment from the bank, and it's to do with our asset account. And in case you don't know, and see, I start on things out there, and I've got to be careful because I don't want to give too much information out there, because it's going to sound rather crazy with it. But we've actually completed the $20 billion to go into the asset account, and we are in the process now of actually using some of those funds that are not in the asset account now. The banks are managing for us in order to accumulate some funds that will come in, quite substantial funds. And those funds, when we have them, won't go into the asset account. They're available for us to have a look at a few things out there, and we are looking at a couple of things that we will be able to manage ourselves out there. And so we've got this, and to be honest, the amount of opportunities and things that are out there, it's really, once you have the backing of large organizations like the banks that we have out there, a lot of people will talk to you as well. And look, as much as this sounds like I'm going round and round in circles, I'm trying to give you a little bit of an idea without saying anything at all, if that makes sense. I probably shouldn't even be saying this because it's going to sound strange. I think when I play it back on the recording, that I'll probably think, no, we won't put that out. It sounds like I'm a madman. But there is a lot, and it does run into some pretty serious money. And as you well know, that we've already got an e-commerce that we have in Next Level Africa, but we're talking about building something, a standalone e-commerce platform that we're looking to take on the likes of Amazon and Co. with it. And also we're going to build a social media platform that will take on the likes of Facebook. And the sort of dollars that we have coming into this, when I do announce it, and I will be announcing it within the next couple of weeks, you'll see why that we are a competitor in this marketplace out there. My background, as I have mentioned, a lot of people that do know, I'm a retailer. I had supermarkets. I owned 3 supermarkets. I was on the Council of Management of the Food Retailers Association. and I was a director of a company that operated 400 stores. So I have a fairly large background in retail, and I've got a lot of good advisors to advise me as well with the online aspect of it, the technical aspects and what we need to look at there. So I believe we're in good stead to build something rather special. And look, on saying that, I just want to add in that I don't want anyone to ask me any questions on that because I really can't answer anything. I just wanted to let you know. I'm trying to, as I said, I'm trying to turn this into a hype session. I just wanted to let you know that we are working on some pretty serious things out there, and of course, I'm still in line to go to the States once this is completed. We'll organise the trip to the States where we'll be signing off on the $100 billion deal for our humanitarian projects that will be running out there. And so coupled up, you know, when I looked at Next Level Africa, I thought, and I've made this statement out there, that nothing could be as big as Next Level Africa. I think if you've got 10 of the best network structures together, it's not even going to compete with Next Level Africa, because we are going to have some people that have simply taken a position in Next Level Africa back in the early times there, and it's a $15 position, but that position is going to earn them $1 million for the year. And so there is no company that can even go close to that with what's going on there. You'll see our coin by the end of this month. You'll see it very close to $300 a coin. And the reason that our retailers will accept the NLA coin is because they'll be made well aware it's backed by the bank, it's backed by an asset account, and in our 3 years of existence, we've never gone down. And because of what we've got coming into play, I don't believe our coin will ever go down. It may jump more some months than others, but I don't believe it'll ever go down. And that's really the place we want to be. So retailers will be very confident on taking the coin as payment, and it is the only coin that is backed by a bank and to be used. Chingaling is obviously backed by the bank, but Chingaling is a different deal. Chingaling was designed for stored value, so the bank could invest into their futures trading and using the Chingaling coin as the financial component of it, as the stored value, so they could do it from there. So look, we have got a lot of things going. Well, look, with that, I'm going to throw it back over to Angelina. If there's any questions that I can answer, I certainly will. And I hope that I haven't jumped around all over the place there. We are dealing with a lot of different components of what we've got going on here. And I just believe that we'll be, certainly in a good place when we see this investor group action, what they're doing. All right, look, I'll turn it over to Angelina now, and thank you very much again for turning up, and I'll see what sort of questions I can answer.
Thanks, Noel. A lot of information there that we'll all try and digest. And as Noel said, be mindful of some of the things that he is not able, or we're not able to respond to with questions to. And yes, we do have some updates more on line 6. I can see questions coming in regarding that. So Noel, we'll start with Jan, who has a question. Will the withdrawal from the NLA back office to a wallet or to the CEX be fixed or enabled before the investors buy up the coins on CEX? I'll let you answer that.
Okay, look, we are looking to do exactly that, but I've just signed off on the system there, so we've had to set up a server and get a few things in place. So I'm hoping that's going to be sorted out this week. But once again, I need to get our technical team to get on top of it and complete it from there. So we are certainly hoping that that will be completed. And once again, I'm expecting it to be done this week. Where are we at now? Okay, Jenny's asked, will the unpaid spots in line 6 be filled before line 7 goes, or will the payments from line 7 skip and come up to us in line 5? No, everything will be paid. That's line 7 won't go in until we complete that. There's just been a few technical reasons why some of that couldn't be done, but we're going to be fixing that, and that's a priority now. I just been dragging some of the technical teams back to fix up some of the things. Some of it was due to duplication of emails and a number of things out there, but we are on top of that now. So, and look, I do have to confess that with this, that the main hold up on this has been me, to be honest with you. I've been all over the place, so I really need to turn my phone off so I can get in and complete some things on there, because there are certain things I've just got to sign off and then hand them over to Angelina from there, and then it gets going. So it's really, I can't blame other people for it. It's certainly been mainly me on that, so I do apologise. It's just that if you knew what was coming out there and some of the people we're talking to, you'd understand why we are and wanting to get it correct as well. Yeah, Clara, I mean, that's certainly, we are looking forward to what is going on there, and probably why I sound so strange talk is I do want to tell you, but if I told you what was coming there, I think that people don't believe now what's happening in next level Africa. I mean, imagine me walking into the local pub and someone saying, "Hi Noel, how was your day?" I can't say a word because they just say, "Well, thanks very much, see you later." So so there's a lot going on there, and I guess once we can announce it and the banks allow us to announce other things, it's certainly going to be something special out there. So Jane's saying, good morning everyone. Now, when you say investors will be in next week to purchase 3 billion of coin, do you mean the ones that are for sale under the duck market in CEX? Any coins that are listed in CEX. And I'm not sure of the value and how much they'll pay top end for them, because the market maker has to release about 50 million coins for them. So I'm not sure of the top end of it. I mean, I'm only guessing. What's the coin now? Went up $24 the other day. It's 238, and so as I said, next week we'll probably see a substantial increase in it again. So I'm expecting before the end of this month it'll be close to the $300 mark. But any coins on the exchange, certainly within that range, will be purchased. Tom's asked about the price increase. Look, the market maker sets the price. The price increase has absolutely zero to do with me out there. Look, there could be another price increase tomorrow. See, they've just put things back together again, and every 14 days that they have the investment going, and they'll drip it in. But they do have the 20 billion has been met. And they haven't put it all into the asset account because they're using some of it as investing through the futures trading for NLA. So when I speak about the amount of money that's coming through, it's NLA's money. It's our money that we've accumulated on the investment structure, but it's not earmarked to go into the asset account. It'll be used to build this retail, the social media platform I'm talking about, And when you see what we're going to put in place on this, there is absolutely no company on this planet that can do what we're about to do. And I'm sure that you'll see some numbers come in, because I'm trying to build it so that the loyal NLA Smada group get the benefit of this as well, and they certainly will, because I'm looking to build this that will put, in some cases, we'll have people that will make millions of dollars per month on what I'm doing there. And so that's important to me, that this group is looked after because of the loyalty they've shown out there. And it's because of what we've accumulated over this last 5 years. It's allowed me to negotiate with a lot of people out there, and really that it's just becoming a very easy market to negotiate in. I've got them knocking on my door, I'm not knocking on their door. And when I talk about bringing it together, I thought that nothing could compete with Next Level Africa, and I'm still convinced it won't, but once we put this other component to it there, between the two of them, there'll be absolutely nothing like it. Okay, people saying it was nice information there, thank you for that. But once again, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm just trying to tell you what I know, and I'm trying not to add too much to it. It's sometimes hard for me to hold back on it, but I don't want to start talking about too much or too many questions that you'll need to ask. When will line 7 be ready? Yeah. Once again, as I mentioned before, I'm just completing line 6, which I want to go on to that now. And look, Angelina has been chasing me for the last couple of days, and I've promised to do it, and the next thing you know, I get tied up, so I'm going to disconnect my phone and get into that today as well. So we've got that completed. There's not really much to do, it's just getting the time to get in and do it. So we're not too far off that. Where are we? Yeah, a lot of people just congratulating on where we're at, so we're out there. James, appreciate you are only passing on what you are told. Just to be clear, you are expecting the 3.27 billion to begin trading on the CEX next Monday or Tuesday. They'll have it completed then, whether James, that's what they're saying, they'll have it completed by next Monday or Tuesday, and then it goes back to the market maker. Look, they'll start trading in there very quickly. I'm not sure exactly, but the full amount will be purchased there when the market maker puts the coins in there. They'll have to put 50 million coins in, and he can't do that until whatever coins are on the exchange are sold. If there's coins too far away from the market maker's value, they'll be skipped and they'll be left there. But whatever's within that range, once that's sold, then the market maker can add the coins in there. Yes, just to confirm that there, John, the investors they've never really left us. It's just that the bank, look, what happened is that with all these delays, the bank took them off on another investment, because the bank have been certainly looking after this group, took them off on another investment that went for 8 weeks, and that's completed now. So they're getting, but that's why Timothy is headed for the States, and they're over there to bring this and put it to bed. Tom's asked, do I expect ongoing trade in the exchange after the investors do come in there? The reason I do is because we've got a lot of things going on that we will be able to promote the exchange, and to go into detail with them now, it's probably for another time. All of the things I've spoken about today in themselves are a separate item and could be handled in a webinar by themselves. So it's hard to cover everything out there and how we're going about doing things. But once you see the investors do their thing and what I'm about to launch out there in the way of the e-commerce platform, because remember that bringing in retailers, they'll be encouraged to take our coin, and we'll be able to show some pretty serious trading through the exchange. And look, there's just a few things I've got earmarked to be going on with there, Tom, so you won't see it stop. Once it starts out there, it'll continue to roll along. These investors can also purchase more coin if they wish. They can also bring other members in, because once they are part of it, you're talking a group collect. There's 430 of them, and as a group they've got 3.27 billion. So, and they know other people with money as well. So it should get out there. Okay, John's got two questions for me. Okay, can we transfer coins from our NLA account to our C wallet? And is there a limit? Second question, and safely transfer coins from our C wallet to Coin Exchange. As I mentioned before there, John, the moving coins out of Next Level Africa, you can move them out. You can only move them out to what you've got listed in the account. If you've got a wallet address listed, it'll go to that wallet address. If you've got the CX wallet address listed, then it'll go to that, whichever wallet address you've got it listed to. And I'm trying to complete that now. I mean, look, there was payments that needed to be made to have this fixed up. We needed to build another server to manage it, and so I've done all that. So we've paid all the money. So we're just waiting now for the technical people to complete that. So hopefully they'll do that in the next couple of days. And transferring coins with safety from your C wallet to Coin Exchange can be done quite easy now. Everything's in place. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Alex, I've had the new wallet sync successfully for 2 weeks, but it hasn't mined any transactions. Also, the staking has only been at 0, previously was half of balance. Look, with your staking of the coins out there, it all depends how many coins you've got in your wallet as to how often it will stake. What I've noticed with my wallet now is that it was taking sometimes up to 18 hours to confirm transactions. Now it's doing it in between 3 and 4 hours. So the wallet's confirming a lot quicker now as well, and certainly staking out there. So, I mean, they're all geared to do that. So it may be something to do with how many coins you've got in your wallet as to how often they stake. The less coins, the less it stakes. I've answered about line 7 being completed out there with Mehmet, so, and then asking about lines 8 and 9. Let's get line 7 in there first. But we're wanting to do this as quickly as possible. I've just had technical people. It's hard to say which is a priority. Everything is a priority, but you can only do so much. And everything that is related to what we do here has to be passed through a security check, and that's not an easy one to do. I mean, it's a juggernaut to move this around. So everything that we need to do has got to be approved by the bank, and so it's the slow process of it. I can't really answer too many questions about Chingaling. We have got a few things about we've put recommendations to them on the Chingaling, but I really don't know when the coins will start to trade Chingaling. I'm just as keen as anybody else to have the coins trade, but it's entirely with the banks on what they're doing with the Chingaling site. And Maxine's put quite a nice comment out there. It's a great update. Everyone would or should expand their minds into the maximum, because this opportunity will really change one's communities, life forever. And it certainly will. It certainly will. We are going to have a lot of people see our model that we've built out there, and really where this has come from, it's combining the wonders of network marketing, multi-level marketing, to the traditional business structure, and saying that I've always considered, if we can get the two of them to run successfully together, we have something special, and I believe we have here. We've got a traditional business model and the MLM structure of it, and so I see, we've got something special that will attract a lot of people to become part of what we're doing. I must change some NLA wallet addresses in my crowdfunding. I can't see in the Smada Q&A anything how to do it. Can your team put something in place? Changing wallet addresses in the system is something that has to be handled by the programmers, and they will charge to do that. So there are workarounds on having, because the wallet address is only in there to transfer coins out, and so that's all that is. I mean, because you can transfer internally coins from one account to another. So I really don't see any reason why you'd want to change them there. Just setting up another account with the correct wallet address. You just transfer the coins to that account and then transfer them out from there. Margaret, how long will it take to put line 9 in? Not long, once we get line 8 in, I guess. It's an impossible question to answer, because I don't know what's happening between now and then. And a lot of people saying there, especially saying that we are in for a very good future, and the long time wait will be certainly worth the wait. This was never there 5 years ago. It was never there 5 years ago. It's just happened that all of these components have been coming together, and we've managed to bring it together as a team. That's really the only thing I can say about it. Yes, we'll certainly say a prayer for the NLA. They're actually, it's a security team. It's a professor we have over there, and he's the man that looks after the thing. Stephen, is the login with two-factor, I think, going to be available? Stephen, it will be when they do the mobile app on that. I'll get that sorted out, but right now it's not there. Believe you me, I wanted them to put up a notice up there on there, but the banks can be a little bit stubborn on things out there, so I've done everything, stamped my feet. I've told them I'll hold my breath, and it still doesn't make any difference. So, but they will be rectified once they get the mobile app out there, and that'll be fixed once that happens. Yeah, look, I think that the bottle of bubbles you're talking about probably should go to our admin girls. They've been very, very special, very thorough with what they do, and the time that they put into looking after members. We only have to look through the rooms and the thanks that come back people doing it. So I really, I'm beholden to those ladies that certainly get out there and put this together. It's all right for me. I come up with sometimes the ideas out there, and they're the ones that have to suffer the any issues that come in. They're the front line. So I do want to thank them. I think any accolations and bottles of wine should certainly go to those ladies. Peter saying, in the beginning I received a wallet address from someone else. Now with my own wallet, I want to put my own wallet address in the crowdfunding projects. Don't know how to. Well, you should be able to go in. Look, there's probably another time on that there with it. Petrus, it's an area where going in and adjusting your own project. I mean, you're the one that's listed it out there, going in and adding the wallet address to it. If you're just looking to do it from there, but generally that it'll be an internal thing where they could send you coins internally. But once again, go in and have a look at your project if you've got the project available to you, and to see what you can add in there. But you should be able to add in your wallet address in there. All right, look, that seems to be all the questions out there, and hopefully I've answered clearly on what you asked. And I try to keep this under the hour out there, and we certainly have this time. So there's Angelina's just dropped an email in there. So there's nothing I can put in there. All I'm trying to get is that the same questions that keep coming up there, and probably by the same people, but I can't really answer any more questions on the lines. That they'll go in when they're completed and when they're checked off. I will get back in to refocus onto that again now, and just there's been so much going on that everything's a priority, and just getting it completed out there is a priority as well. All right, look, thanks very much everyone for turning up. I'm going to turn this back to Angelina to close up on it, and we are in a very, very exciting place, and as soon as we get any information about what's happening in the States with the investors there, we'll certainly get it out to members, and hopefully we see it just happening straight away in the exchange. All right, I'll hand this back to Angelina. Thanks again, everybody.
Thanks, Noel, for putting so much detail into the responses to these questions, and thank you everyone for your questions and your patience during this time. Please watch for new updates in the Skype rooms, and take care, and we will see you again here, hopefully the same time next week, or sooner. You never know. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.